Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Liz and this is Let's Get Lizicle, where we do everything card making. And today is day 2 of my new release for Happy Haunting. We're going to be doing like a quick and simple card for today, making our own pattern paper, which I love to do, and doing just, a little bit of layering. I am bringing in the Waffle Flower Wax Seals die because I love this die. It is a great alternative for those people who don't want to invest in all of the stuff you need to do wax seals. You can cut them out of paper and kind of get the same look, maybe not as glossy, but like that's okay. You could also use glossy cardstock if you wanted it to be shiny. But I just love this die because it's pretty versatile. You can kind of put whatever images you want on the inside, which is what I like to do. I like to coordinate, if I can, with images from the set, which is what I will be doing today, obviously. We're going to use this little solid skull in the middle of the wax seal. I tend to use the mid-sized one more often than anything. I don't even think I've used the big one before. I might have used the smaller one, but the middle size is like the perfect size for cards. I also am just going through to show you that I do have these magnet sheets available in my shop as well. I like to add them to the packaging that the dies come in, and I just kind of adhere it to the cardstock and then put my dies on that instead of leaving the sticky tape strips, because A, they get stuck to the packaging itself, and B, they will lose their stickiness over time. So I think it's just better to have magnet sheets. So if you want to add those to your cart when ordering things, that would be, amazing for you, for me, for everybody. But anyway, on to the card. So I'm going to be making, like I said, my own pattern background. Originally I had planned to heat emboss all of these tombstones in the background just to add a bit of pattern. It didn't quite turn out well. I think my sticky pad needs to be re-inked or something, because like most of the embossing powder just kind of like fell off. It's very splotchy. I could have just done the Versamark ink and left it as like a tonal pattern for the background. I wanted to heat emboss it, but again, like my sticky ink, it probably needs to be re-inked. So when I'm not using my Misty, obviously I'm not able to double stamp without messing it up, so otherwise I could have done it a little bit better. But most of it's going to get covered anyway. This is just to add a little bit of texture to the background, and it doesn't look terrible. So I am going to trim it down a little bit more too. I end up trimming it down to 3.5 by 4 3/4, I believe. Just taking out like 3/4 of an inch off each side, and then I'm going to be using this die. I believe it's from Penny Black. It's old. They don't have it anymore, but I did just order the deckled edge dies. I think it's from Honeybee. I ordered it with I got the new Simon Hurley cat die with the witch hat and everything, so I needed to add something else to my card. So I was like, oh, okay, let's get these deckled edge ones. They're not quite as textured as these ones, I guess. Like this one has a lot more like torn page look to it, which is what I love about it. But again, no longer available, so I'll link the Honeybee ones down below. But if anybody would be interested in something similar to this, I could probably come up with like a nesting die set that has these kind of like torn edge looks to it. Just let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, so we're going to be doing some layering, like I said, and I'm going to be doing like big mats on this card. So there's going to be a big thick white border. There's going to be the thick gray border from the pattern print, and then the little tiny like top mat there that I cut out of the deckled edge die. And it's a good way to also reduce the space you need to fill on a card just by adding like multiple mats to it. So, because I'm not going to be adding a ton of images to this, I'm going to be using the Happy Halloween sentiment and just like the straight standing ghost, which you'll see here in a bit, and then this wax sealed. So what I did was I cut them all out, all the layers out in the dark gray charcoal-y color that I have. This is just Michael's Recollections 65-pound cardstock. And then I cut out the middle one in white. I like to do it that way just because I usually stamp these in white. If you wanted to do it in silver, you could do it in silver as well, or gold, or whatever color you're heat embossing your image into, or you could be die cutting your image. The middle layer I always do in the same color as the image, just because when you go to add color to a wax seal, you're usually using some kind of like acrylic or metallic marker, and you're just kind of like hitting the edges of the image just to like bring it out a little bit better. So I feel that doing the middle ring in the same color kind of mimics that coloring of the ring, because a lot of the times the images that you stamp into the wax seal have a bit of like a border on them, whether they're square or circle or whatever. So that's just how I like to do it. You could definitely do it whatever way you feel like doing, but I like the look of this one. This one, I am going to add a very little bit of color to this card, which you'll see here in a second, underneath the Happy Halloween sentiment. Rewatching this video back, I probably could have done it in the orange. The only thing with the orange is like the white doesn't stand out as well on it, but could have been fun. And I'm just, you know, another way to bring in a little bit more color. This card is pretty monochromatic, which is why I added the touch of orange, which you'll see here in a bit. This is just me debating on whether or not I'm going to stamp the sentiment black on white. I was debating on heat embossing it on one of the colors of cardstock as well, but I decided to go in this direction. And then once I had cut it out with the die, I was like, maybe I was going to cut another layer just to add a little bit more dimension to it, but then I decided to cut another layer in the orange with the shadow and then kind of offset it, which again you'll see here in a second. I'm just coloring the ghost. Today I decided to use the light blue, which I think is the ice color for Olo markers that I usually use on doing like snow and snowmen and that kind of stuff, just to give it that cool tone. Normally I use cool grays when I'm shading ghosts, but I decided to actually use a couple of different colors in this like launch series. So you'll see another color that I used in tomorrow's video. So it's, you know, fun to change up the highlights on the ghosts. They're ghosts anyway, they're see-through, so they'll have a bit of white with a little bit of color that's in the atmosphere of the card, right? So this one didn't have any blue on it, but I just decided to see what the blue would look like, and I like it. So I think blue gives it a little bit more of that like Disney haunted mansion kind of feel with the ghosts in a sense, because they're like, they usually have like that blue glow to them from what I've seen. I don't think I've ever actually seen the movie itself, but from the clips that I've seen, that's how they look, and like artwork and whatnot. So yeah, so here I am, I'm cutting out in orange. Originally I was going to cut another 1 or 2 layers of the white just to prop it up a bit, and I was like, you know what, this card needs a little bit of color. So let's just do it by adding a second shadow, which is always an option when you're die cutting sentiments. You can offset it either a little bit down and over, or just a little bit down or up or whatever, depends on the look of the card you're going for. I decided just to shift it down a little bit and then just have that orange peep out the bottom. And it just adds like again, a little bit of color to a pretty, you know, monotone card. And again, I probably could have done the wax seal in the orange as well and just added that color a little bit more into here, but I like the way this looks. I would probably do another like second card and do it in a different color. This would be like a good way to do like a set of cards if you wanted to do invitations or something for a Halloween party. You could do them all the same, but maybe do all the shadow layers in a different color and then do all the wax seals in the same color as the shadow. That might be fun. Thinking about that right now. I'm not having a Halloween party, but like it would be a nice set of cards, or even if you're giving cards away for other people to give out or whatever. Like you do 1 orange, 1 green, 1 purple. You can do 1 monochrome in the gray and whatever other colors you want. You can do a couple of each, whatever. I don't like to do the same card, so even if I did this exact same layout, I would do different colorways just to make it look different. You could also change up, instead of the sentiment, you could change up this front panel here and change that into colors if you want. You know, there's just like options, lots and lots of options. You can also use a different image in the background instead of the tombstones. Like you could put the ghosts to there, you could use the skulls, you know, mix and match, make your own pattern paper. It's so much fun. I love doing it so much. But anyway, I wrapped a little bit of twine and propped this up on some foam tape, and then I'm just foam taping around the wax seals because it's going to be on top of the string as well. But that's pretty much our card for today, guys. Quick and simple, cute little ghosty there saying Happy Halloween with his derpy look, and I love it so much. I did debate putting a little bit of a black border on it. I don't know, I left it out. What do you guys think? But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, because what are you doing otherwise? And hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future content. I will have another video out tomorrow, and again, this release will be available on August 20th at noon Eastern Standard Time. So until tomorrow, thanks guys, bye!